What's up, traders? Zach here from the Trading Network. Hope you guys are doing well and that your week is off to a good start. It is Tuesday, March 16th, and I've got another daily market profile recap for both ES and the NQ futures markets. So before we get into the trade plan, I want to start off by saying that these levels today were derived from the March contract. Now, that is because for the first few days of rollover, I like to use previous contract because in my opinion it has more accurate price data for that first few days, even the first week. So with that said, let us move into the ES trade plan and the NQ trade plan following that, and you guys will see some difference if you were trading on the June contract, which I would imagine you are, but the levels were the same. So just to give you an idea, today very quickly I used the prior range high as the line in the sand for ES, and I used the overnight POC as the line in the sand for NQ. I did actually use the new contract for NQ because I noticed that the profiles were very, very similar on both of them. However, on ES, I was more comfortable using March's data today. So with that said, let's get into these key levels here. Overnight high was number one, and that was the 39.75 level. Again, for the March contract. All of these are March contract for ES, will be June contract for these levels over here on NQ. So second level was that prior range high. We can go ahead and switch over to the profile here and take a look at the levels on chart. So here was that second level, 39.6975 for ES. Third level was prior value area high, which ended up being very close to today's high, value area high, that is. And the fourth level was the prior POC. Prior POC was this 39.4325 level. Now, we didn't get down to any of those further key levels. Last level was that prior value low at 39.31. But these are, as you guys know, these are common levels that I choose to look towards as targets and take trades off of if we do explore them. And what I mean is prior value area high, prior POC, and the prior value area low down here at 39.31. I will also use those initial balance levels from time to time as well, 39.48 here and 39.34. In this case, you can see I have those labeled. But for the most part, the major levels that I'm interested in on a daily basis, value areas, value area high, low, and POC, and of course the range high and low to determine where strength is, or if we are pushing above a high, for instance, holding above a high, then that is an indication that the market sentiment has changed. And if we are holding above a high from a previous session, pretty bullish, as I say quite often. So let's move into the key levels for NQ real quick. We'll go over to NQ profile and we will take a look. So first and foremost, overnight high was 13.168. That level was right here. Second level was overnight point of control. That was 13.114. You can see that right here, overnight POC. The third level was the prior range high, 13.8925. Fourth level was the overnight low, 13.48. And last but not least, we had that prior value area high at 12.987. Could have used this level right here, but I would really consider this a zone. For instance, if we break this level, just as an idea, if we break this low, we're likely going here. If we break this low, we're likely going here. So keep an eye on those levels moving forward with that said. So we didn't have a ton of headline risk today. All right, so I just want to show you guys, as far as news events go, we had core retail sales and retail sales. Usually not huge effect in regards to ES and NQ when it comes down to it. So let's pop back over to trade plan here, and we will go into the pre-market analysis. So overnight inventory was long on ES and NQ. It doesn't matter what contract you were using in that regard. Price action was the same there. ES and NQ were looking to open above range in value. When the overnight inventory is imbalanced, which means that we are long, significantly long, or significantly short, the higher probability play is to see New York fade the overnight price action in the opposite direction, which would mean downside pressure in this scenario. With that said, if we open outside of range and or value, that also means that trending price action is likely or more likely. Higher probability of trending price action when we open above or below the previous session's range and value, previous New York session's range and value to be precise. So That means that I will be looking, or was looking, for two likely scenarios to play out if we did indeed open out of range and value. Scenario 1, ES moves and holds above the prior range high at 39.6975, or if you were using the June contract, then it would have been the prior range high at 39.6025. That would have been the line in the sand for that. Same thing, prior range high on both charts, very important. So scenario 1 that I was looking at, ES moves and holds above the prior range high, which was 39.6975 on the March contract. We'll go over there. So here's March contract, 39.6975. Or if you were on the new contract, it would have been 39.6025. On the flip side for NQ, if NQ moves and held above the overnight POC, which was that 13.114 level right here, then I was going to be looking for a price to get picked up and continue the overnight inventory to the upside. On the flip side, scenario 2, I was looking at a possible rejection of that prior range high, 39.69 on the March profile, the March contract rather, and 39.60 on the June contract. And on NQ, I was looking for a possible rejection of that overnight point of control, which we obviously did not get. We got the support at that overnight POC, a little bit below it, of course, but generally speaking, we got the support around the prior range high and the overnight POC. So today I was looking at the prior range high on the March contract at 39.6975 and on the June contract at 39.60 as the line in the sand for ES. And on the June contract for NQ, I was looking at the overnight POC as the line in the sand at 13.114. If price could move and hold above those levels on open, I was going to be looking to take long opportunity for that overnight inventory continuation. If we could not move and hold above those levels, the line in the sand levels, I was going to be looking for price to move down into the value area from yesterday on both ES and NQ. Now, scrolling down a bit, just to reiterate that, I was looking at these two levels, 39.69, 13.114, and of course, if you wanted to use that new contract, then this would be, just add it right here, it would be 39.60, right? So if we could hold those levels again, looking for a move up to new highs on ES and levels from last week on NQ. If we couldn't, I was looking for a move back down into those value areas. So last but not least, it is target time, starting with ES. I didn't really have many upside targets on ES because we were very close to highs, or we were at new highs when we opened. So first target was 39.75, second target was 39.90, and flipping back over we can check out both profiles. You can see that our high on the March contract was 39.8050, and I got that 39.90 level. That was from the Fibonacci pivots. That was third, or R3 rather, so resistance 3. And you can see our high day on the June contract was the 39.70 level. So of course our levels on the March contract were about 10 points higher. So technically we were about 10 points below our highest target. We only hit one of them. We didn't hit it if you were, I guess, using our March levels for the June contract, but we did get that move above the prior range high, which was the general idea, regardless of whether you were trading June or March today. So the one upside target that was hit right here, we can flip over. You can see that 39.75 level, that was the overnight high, and that got hit basically instantly on open. And we were able to take trade opportunity off of that in the range, basically for the first hour of the session at least, which a lot of people, especially in the Discord, you know, they scalped around for the first hour in the opening range, around the opening range, and called it a day. So quickly, I will switch over to the main chart and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. So here, let me get rid of some of these drawings. So here's prior range high. So you can see we had bearish divergence right here, prior range high. I mean, that was a one and done trade right there. If you took this trade 39.70 down to 65, then you had another short from 70 down to 62. So those two short trades, I mean, that's really all you need. Not really sure, you know, what more you could ask for in a relatively quiet and ranging market environment off the open. Obviously, we were expecting a trending market, or that was the higher probability play, but price decided to range, and because it ranged, we switched plays in our playbook. We started to use our divergence at or around major levels. You could see div here, no div there, bull div there, and these are really good trade opportunities. Even if you don't take the divergence or you don't have divergence, you can see the oscillators look good. We have the prior range high and the overnight POC right next to each other. You could put a stop loss above the second upper deviation of VWAP, using that as protection, and you have maybe 2 or 3 points risk if you want to add that R2 as protection for you as well. So a lot of good trade opportunity. We will go back to the market profile and we will get into the downside targets. You can see that we had 2 downside targets hit as well. That 39.60 level, which was the overnight low, and our second downside target that was hit was the 39.57 level, and that was the overnight high from the March 14th into 15th session. We got very close to hitting that 49 level, which was the point of control from March 11th, but we didn't hit it. We had a fairly tight ranging day, especially compared to the profiles that we've been having recently, and we weren't able to reach many of those downside targets, or obviously reach new highs or much further than we got in the overnight session. So what I mean by that is we only got 5 points above the overnight high today as our regular trading hour session high. So swapping over to NQ, let's get into these targets. So first upside target, we did indeed get that hit. That was 13,168. That was the overnight high. The second upside target was 13,195. 13,195 was the point of control from the March 1st session, and that was also hit in the initial balance as well. Third upside target that was hit was the 13,229 level. 13,229 was right here, and this was the overnight point of control from the March 1st into March 2nd session, and that was also hit in the initial balance, which is the opening 1 hour range from the profile. So one way that you can also get the opening range is we offer an indicator called the opening range tune, and you can use that for the opening 1 minute range, which is a strategy that we utilize, and you can use that to see the initial balance on your candlestick chart, as well as in replacement of the initial balance on the profile if you for instance don't have access to a market profile yet or something like that. So with that, after we got that 13,229 level hit, that next level was 13,295, which we did not hit. We got within 8 points of it, so very close. If you were in for instance a long opportunity from the break of 13,195 targeting 13,295, maybe you take profit less than 10 points away from your target once you see that candlestick structure start to reverse and go against you. So that was the last upside target that was hit. The next upside target that I was looking at was 13,221, which was the overnight high from the March 1st into March 2nd session. And last but not least, that 13,346, which was the overnight high from February 24th into February 25th Globex session. So downside on NQ is going to be short and sweet. Again, line in the sand level was that 13,114, so we held above that level quite nicely today. The low of the day that we got was 1377, so we did not get to any of our downside targets other than that first 1389 level, which of course was yesterday's high. So we hit yesterday's high. We reacted around that level, right around yesterday's high and the overnight point of control, and got some good buying pressure and got picked up and really held above that level for a large majority of the day. So just to recap here, it was an interesting day. We had a much tighter range than expected with the profile structure that we saw upon open and with how the overnight inventory was positioned compared to settlement price. So with that said, we had to make do with what the market was giving us, which was opportunity between the profile levels, taking ranging trades, using oscillators, using divergence and things like that, trying to avoid taking trending trades because we really didn't have particularly strong trending moves. So on a day like this, when you have a trade plan and things don't go in the direction of the higher probability play, it's very important to eliminate your bias as much as possible. It's very difficult as well, but it's very important to practice so you can say, all right, higher probability play isn't going down, and now what I have to do is adjust my plays in my playbook or adjust the plays that I'm going to take in this session based on what the market is telling me. So with that, when we open outside of range and value, but you see us just ranging between market profile levels, just trade the range until it breaks. Keep it simple. So I hope this helps you guys. I hope you guys enjoy this content. Again, thank you guys for entering into that Earn to Trade giveaway. Congratulations to the winner. And I appreciate you guys immensely for taking the time to watch these videos, like, subscribe, comment, and really just be a part of the trading network by spending the time commenting and being a part of the Facebook group, reading the trade plans, and all the like. So I won't make this too long, but if you guys are interested in learning more, check out the links in the description below, where you'll find links to our free trade plans every day on Facebook, 9 a.m. or around 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time, market open. You can also find tradingnetwork.io, which is a link to our website, where you can find information on one-on-one mentorship with me, the Trading Network Indicator Package, the Trading Network private Discord, where you can watch me trade live every day, Monday through Friday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern. And last but not least, you can purchase access to the Fundamentals of Futures Trading course, which is our proprietary course that goes over varying strategies for varying market conditions, trending strategy, ranging strategy, and we also discuss elements of the volume and market profile theory as well. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you immensely, and I will see you in the next video.